Hello? Is there anybody in there? Is there anybody? Just shout if you can hear me. Is there anyone home? Wow. Do you know how long it took me to remember how to even do this? Now, I did a quick live stream last Friday. It was just practice. And then I was finally able to figure out how to set it up to where it actually put out an announcement. And then as I'm setting up for tonight, just before I started, oh, my voice sounds much better. Thanks, man. I still got the cough, but I'm trying. Almost everybody in my house is coughing. My son got away without getting sick, but it's so funny. He sits in the living room upstairs, and I start coughing. Then my wife starts coughing, and then my daughter starts coughing. So it's kind of hilarious. All right, so welcome to the first of many live streams. I'm hoping to keep these going as long as I keep the support on Patreon to where I can keep my Friday nights off. I want to thank all of the members of Patreon for supporting me. I've got 43 members. I lost one yesterday, but I'm still good. Makes just under $300 a month. It actually sets me up for being able to take time off. And as you guys know, that since my last channel was hacked 2.5 years ago, I think maybe even almost 3 years ago, I had to stop doing the live streams because that was a lot of money coming in with that old channel. I don't make anything with this channel. So I want to thank all the Patreon members, and I want to thank all the people that are actually showing up here. This is incredible. I don't see how many people are actually here. Let's see. It says, yeah, see, I'm still getting used to doing this. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm so stupid right now. Yeah, it doesn't say how many people are here. Ah, there we go. We have 9 people in here already. Holy cow. Excellent. Good to see everybody. All right, so a couple of rules that you guys need to know for asking questions and things like that. If you guys look in the chat right now, you see how Billy Morgan actually typed "at home studio trainer." And what that does is that lights up orange so that I know you have a question. I know that there are some live streams that actually require you to actually make it, a donation or use use the support button at the bottom. I'm not going to do that. Oh, there we go. Billy Morgan with the $5. Appreciate it, Billy. So you can do that too if you want to support me here. That's great. If you don't like Patreon, you can come into the weekly live streams and you can do that here. But if you want to ask a question, all you have to do is type "at home studio trainer," and it'll light up an orange bar for me so that I will see it. You know what? I'm going to show it to you, actually. Let's go to the classroom here. You can see I've already got Studio One open. But if you look here, if you guys type "at home studio trainer," I see it in orange like this. There we go. Just Bob did it. Excellent. So that way I know you have a question. I'm actually glad I'm kind of starting over because it actually gives me the ability to, set the groundwork for everything so I don't miss any questions. Billy Morgan is here. Good to see you, Billy. Much appreciated. Let's see. I'm going to find out who is here. So according to the participants list, we've got Billy Morgan, BTN Studios. Christopher Beebe. Oh, Chris Beebe, good to see you. Jeff Wood is here. Just Bob. Bobby Booth. Bobby, so good to see you here. Russell Harris. Tony Stingnert. Hopefully I did that right. And West Boogaloo is here. It's my favorite name now. All right, I hope you guys are doing well. Don Oliver just popped in. He says, good to see you. Well, I have to tell you, it is so awesome to be doing these again. I missed it big time. I'm probably never going to go back to the 5 nights a week. There's just no possible way unless you guys get really crazy over on Patreon and the support goes up. But that was busy. That was really tough to do. I have a different job now. I got the same job as I've always had for the past 20 years, but I got different hours now. So doing them 5 nights a week would be impossible. All right, so let's see. What do we have here? Hopefully everybody is doing well. We have 18 people here. Wow. I am super, super impressed. If I go on a coughing jack, I will make sure to mute so you guys don't have to hear me choking to death. So there you go. Christopher BB says hi to Just Bob. Let's see. Don Oliver says, good to see you. I'm just kind of going back. We have 12 in the house. Wow, if you look at the numbers now, look at this. Let's see, you see if I move this over here, we got 18 in the house. So I'm going to need a bigger house. But there you go. Very cool. All right. So those are the only rules and stuff for the chat. I have only opened up the chat to subscribers. So if you're watching this show and you realize you can't post in the chat, please become a subscriber. So right now, if people are good, it only takes a minute. I can set different time levels for when you actually subscribe and when you can post. Right now, I have it set at a minute. So if you want to post and you want to ask a question and you subscribe, all you have to do is wait a minute and then you can post in the chat. If you guys get naughty, you new members out there, you new subscribers, you get past your minute and you're naughty in the chat, I'm going to up it to 5 minutes. So there you go. All right, let's see. What do we have here? I'm going to try to get to as many of the chat posts. We got 19 members now. Good to see you. Let's see. In the studio. Oh, Ray Orb. Sorry. Obrey. Maybe it's pronounced Obrey. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Second Chance Rising, he says, hey, Johnny, sounding much better. Can't stay long. Well, I'm glad you popped in. I appreciate that. And Mark Farmer says, hi to everybody. BTN Studios said, so many folks from the old days still here. Yeah, that's quite amazing. So I appreciate you guys popping back in. So hopefully this gets my stuff out there a little bit more. I get more Patreon folks support and things like that. When I actually started the stream, YouTube gave me the ability to choose how many ads would interrupt the stream. Now, of course, the more ads, the more revenue I get, but I put it down at the lowest. So hopefully you guys only see like maybe one ad for the hour that we're on, 2 at most. So let me know what you guys see because I don't want to flood you guys with ads, but I do want to monetize the live stream if I can. And in the same voice, I don't want to be annoying. So let me know what you guys see. Gardner99 says, texting the chat. Testing. Can I test it? Boy, you know what? Yes, Gardner, I saw your post. I'm actually a little nervous. I haven't done this in so long. I mean, last Friday was just kind of a whim. So it's good to see everybody. Great. We got 22 people in here. Good to see everybody. All right. So the focus of the live streams are basically going to be anything home recording, but primarily working with Studio One. So I know that there's a new version of Studio One. I've already got, I think, 7 or 8 videos out there now that go through some of the new features. I put a video out yesterday for something that's been in Studio One forever, and it was the step recorder. And I have to admit, after all these years, it was like only maybe the second time I used it. But I had a good question on it, and I wanted to put it out there. So hopefully you guys saw it. BTN Studios, he says, I had one ad on my way in. All right, hopefully that's the only one. So if you guys see more, please let me know. Hey, Johnny Lipsham is here. My brother from another mother. all the way across the pond. It's good to see you, Johnny. Thanks for coming in. He says evening. Very cool. Bobby Booth with the $5 donation. Thank you, Bobby. Much appreciated. I do appreciate that. If you got a question, please ask away. Oh, and what I wanted to say, as far as Patreon members go, if you're a Patreon member at any level, the $2 or I think it's the $9, you guys get whatever I have to offer, free one-on-ones via Zoom. You can ask questions. You can request personal videos if you have real issues that you need answered and you want to see me do an example to see if it works for me. Feel free to become a Patreon member. Now, there is a way to be a free Patreon member. You don't get any benefits, but you can actually see what's available, and you have to be a member to watch the videos and things like that. Let's see, wouldn't it be any other place on a Friday night? Well, great. And I know it's late for you out there, Johnny. Heck, it's like midnight out there. I know that we set our clocks back, so I don't know if right now we're like 7 hours instead of 6 hours ahead or behind. Sheila's here. Good to see you. Holy cow, 23 here concurrent viewers. I just looked at that. That looks really stupid in the video. Excuse me. All right. Sheila says, hey, Johnny. Good to see you, Sheila. So you guys can start posting questions and comments in the chat if you want me to address something directly, or even if you just want me to read one of your comments out loud. Do like Sheila did. Type at Home Studio Trainer. Now, after the first time you type it, it should auto-populate after you type in at HOM, and then it should auto-populate so you don't have to type it in all the time. And Michael Johnson is here. Good to see you. Oh, it's 5 a.m. You're where? Yeah, you're in the Philippines now, Mike? Dang, with all the craziness going out here in the U.S., boy, I wouldn't mind being in the Philippines right now. It's gonna get nuts. Or as Bruce Wayne said to the Joker once, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. All right, there you go. But yes, and just so you guys know, no political comments or conversation. I will boot you out of the group if you start posting anything even slightly related to politics. So keep that in mind if you're gonna start causing trouble. I got a couple of good admins here. I believe MJ is an admin in here. So is Johnny Lipsham, and I believe Just Bob is one also. And I might have a couple more slots. I think Billy Morgan is one also. His name is in green. So Billy, let me know. I'm not quite sure. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. I got room for one more admin. So if, Billy, if you're interested in being an admin, I would love to actually do that for you. All right, PTN Studios says, hey, everybody. Johnny is telling the truth. I just joined Patreon, and a few days later, we had a Zoom session. Very cool. Learned a ton in a very short time. Yeah, the Zoom sessions are so nice because I can see what you're doing and seeing if it's an issue with your machine. I can't always diagnose an issue. I think I might be a good first stop if you're having an issue, and then after that you can go to PreSonus, or you can do it the opposite way, and in some cases PreSonus might send you to me, so that is cool too. Okay, Billy says no wrench. All right, Billy, you are going to be an admin. Let's see, add as a moderator. And let's see, there we go, boom. So if you refresh, Billy, you should be having a blue wrench. All right, so let's see. Yeah, very cool. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Let's see. That was BTN Studios. And BTN also says, if you haven't signed up on Patreon, you owe it to yourself to do so. Wow, I don't need to do any advertisements. You guys are doing it for me. All right, let's see. Just Bob says, off to a great start. Sorry, I have to leave. I have to get up really early in the morning. Yeah, very cool. I'm also, we've been having some discussions on whether I should do these maybe on a Thursday night. So the night right after Johnny does his. So, like a Thursday night, do you think that would be better? Because I'm actually seeing a lot of people sending me messages. Hey, I'd love to join the live stream, but I've got a gig tonight. So, for those of you who... Oh, excuse me. So if you guys think a Thursday night would be better, now there will be some times where I have to skip a Friday and I'll do an extra one and things like that. It depends on how my work schedule works out. They will need me on a Friday sometimes, or I'll have a family thing going on. But the schedule is going to be, for now, set to Friday nights. So there you have it. But I will always make it up if I have to move it. So let's see here. We have 25 people in here. Let's see. I don't see how many likes. How many thumbs up do I have? Is that even listed here? God, they changed this whole thing. Let's see. We've got 25 people in here. We've got 36 views. And I've been on for... Oh, and then people are watching an average of 7 to 10 minutes. Very cool. All right. Let's see. Hey, there's Billy. He's got his wrench. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So let's start with the first question for you guys. What are you guys thinking? For those of you that have actually updated to Studio One 7, do you like it? Does it matter? I have found that for the most part, it works exactly the same as 6. And some people aren't going to upgrade, at least at this point, because they don't need any of the new features. For those of you that have, please answer in the chat, and I will try to read as many of them as possible. Bobby Booth says, anytime and any day doesn't matter to me. Excellent. All right. So we'll see how the Fridays go, and I'd be happy to move them on a day. There you go. Let's see. MJ says, Billy's a tool. That's all right. I could use the tools. All right, you were a bunch of tools. Yeah, you're a tool too there, Mike. Let's see. BTN Studio says, I also have an early gig tomorrow. We're doing a workshop. Oh, in a prison unit. Tomorrow morning. See you at 10. See 10 thumbs up. Excellent. Thank you. Very cool. Let's see. Sheila says she hasn't updated yet. Let's see. Mark Farmer says he likes it quite a bit. Excellent. Excellent. And this is one of the benefits of joining me over at Patreon. I think there are some folks, and Mark Farmer is one of them, where they're having bizarre issues, and they're hard to duplicate. So if you are having an issue like that and you want to bring it up in the live stream and have me test something to see if it works for me, we can also do that here. Johnny Lipstrom says Fridays are good for me. Okay, good. So I'm going to plan on keeping it on Fridays. So I don't suppose that everybody's going to, have gigs every Friday night, but what do I know? Let's see. Steve Love says, hey, Johnny and guys, not seen you for a few years. Hope all is well. Steve, everything is under control over here. My wife was in the hospital for a little bit with pneumonia, and she has been home for the last week and is recovering very well. All right, Sheila says, I don't have $149. Yeah, not many of us do. And there are people, I think, let me make sure to say this right. Now, this is just my opinion. Everything here that you hear out of my face is my opinion, and my opinion only. If you disagree, feel free to post it in the chat, but we're all good here. For me, as far as Studio One, I think that the more affordable and the better deal is the monthly. You get more stuff, and maybe in the end it does end up a little bit more expensive. You also have the hybrid option, that you can do that, so you can actually do the monthly and end up owning Studio One, and then you can choose to actually, at the end of that year, you're going to own it, and you can choose to keep going with the subscription or just drop out of Studio One Plus altogether and just have a standalone license. So that's another way to do it. Steve Lau says, hey, Johnny and guys. Oh, not seen you views. I actually read that already. Russell Harris is here. We got 30 people in here. Holy cow. Russell Harris is very excited about Deep Flight One, and an extra synth is always welcome. I was starting to work with Deep Flight One because I'm going to add a video to that, to some of the stuff that I have planned for videos. It has some wild sounds. I can't wait to use that for layering like background sounds. It's got some cool synths that you can do too. So be ready for that video when it comes out. I just want to make sure I get it down. So the only issue that I have with the 7 update, the only thing I'm really struggling with, and I've watched a ton of videos from all the real experts out there. I don't consider myself an expert with Studio One 7 yet, but the only thing I'm struggling with is the launcher. I've watched the videos, I see people drag things around and do things, and it's just not working for me. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll do a special show just focusing on that at some point, or maybe I'll do a video and show everything that I'm trying to do to get it working, and to duplicate what I'm seeing in other videos. But I'm struggling with it. I really am. It looks cool. One of the things I have done, I have been able to use a loop with it and have it endlessly loop while I do other tracks. That's the one thing I've been able to do with it. So I don't have to actually paste a bunch of tracks with a loop and just, I can just put one little loop in there and have it loop endlessly while I do other tracks. So maybe I'll get with one of the real experts for that out there and see what happens, and see if they can guide me through it. Let's see. So that was from Russell. BTN Studios says, I haven't had time to check out the new Splice. Oh, I'm just about ready to do my video on Splice, and I like it. Even if you don't subscribe. This is what a lot of people are misunderstanding. And Johnny, as always, please correct me if I'm wrong. As far as what I've discovered, even if you don't subscribe to Splice, there is a lot of loops in there that are available for you to use. God, I'm watching my playback video and I'm waving my hands too much. I just sit on my hands. There are a lot of loops that you can use that just comes with the basic. It's not the free option. It is actually just a bunch of loops that Splice allows Studio One users to actually access. There's a lot of stuff there, and if 2,500, I think it's 2,500 loops. If that isn't enough loops for you, at least for a little while, well, then nobody can help you from that part. So I'll see if I can get that video. I can even do a demonstration here for you guys if you want, since we really haven't gotten started yet. Let's see. So we are 20 minutes into the stream, and I've been yapping a lot, but it's really just nice to see you guys. 34 people in here. I don't know how many likes because it doesn't say on my screen, but 34 people. You guys are awesome. Let's see. As I go through, Fridays are good for me. Haven't had time. Oh, okay. So BTN Studio says, I went to the monthly option. I already license Adobe CC that way. All right, very cool. Johnny Lipstrom says, sub options are monthly access, no perpetual license. Right. Or annual. The annual. That's the hybrid, I believe, and that includes a perpetual license. Now, I've had people ask, what the hell is a perpetual license? It just means you own a copy. It's yours. You don't have to subscribe if you don't want to. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, Johnny. All right, let's see. Johnny says, the thing with the launcher is that you can overthink how it works. And I think that's what I'm doing. If I can work with it, anyone should be able to. All right, that means I need to try a little bit harder or try a little bit less. Thanks for that post, Johnny. Let's see, Billy Morgan to Johnny Lipsham. Says Johnny Lipsham did a great demo on the S1 in the meetup. All right, excellent. I'm going to have to Gonna have to really get with him on that. George Mateos is here. He says, hi, JG. Good to see you. Billy Morgan says, waiting for Johnny's tutorial on the launcher. All right, excellent. All right, so Johnny Lipsham says, with Splice, it is integrated but not included. Studio One users get access to 2,500 sounds for free, but there is a special sub for Splice for Studio One 7 users. There's Studio One for Splice for Studio One Plus users. All right, I'm going to have to check that out. But I do know that, and Johnny, is this right? Again, I haven't gotten that deep into this part of it yet. You can add your own loops to the Splice library. So we'll see what Johnny says on that. Let's see. Johnny Lipsham says it's not called hybrid. Oh, it's called annual. Wasn't it called hybrid at one point? All right. So the annual. Sorry about that. We simplified it to monthly or annual. Beautiful. I was unaware. That's why I need Johnny Lipsham in my live stream chat. All right. Let's see. We got Old School Funk. He says, it's late here in Birmingham, UK. Oh, my gosh. Mainly the loop arrange function and GUI improvement. Circles? Let's see, on the gain in events, all making my workflow easier. For those of you that have actually used the old Sonic Foundry Acid program, PreSonus has implemented those cool features into it. And I've got a video out there for it, so you guys should check it out. Bobby Booth says, I like the stem separator. Yes! That's my favorite feature in Studio One 7. The stem separator, I have some songs that I lost the stems, and yeah, you can remix them. It is cool. It's not perfect. There, as people like to point out in my video, well, there's a better one out there, and then that's fine. But for just doing simple remixes on songs that need a boost in drums or lowering drums or a boost in vocals, the stem separator in Studio One is fantastic. Billy Morgan says Splice is $12.99 a month. Excuse me, $12.99 a month. And yes, it is. And I'm not quite sure I want to add another monthly to my deal. But I'm really thinking about it. Christina's here. Good to see you. Says you woke up just for Mr. Guy. Thank you. I'm not quite sure I deserve that, but I do appreciate you coming in. 32 people in here. Let me know how many likes. I wish I could see how many likes. Let's see. Johnny says, no, you cannot add your own loops to the Splice library. Oh, okay. I thought you could. You can favorite loops that you can find in the Splice library. I thought I saw a place where you could drag them in. We'll have to check that out. Russell Harris is here. Good to see you, Russell. He says the launcher is intimidating. I know. It is to me, too. And I'm a beta tester, so figure that out. He says it's intimidating to me. He says a session for the technically challenged would be great. Good. As soon as I figure it out, I'll share it with you guys. I promise. And David is here. Good to see you. We have 23 likes. Excellent. I never know how to pronounce your name. I believe it's Barcelo. Hopefully that's right. Michael Johnson says 24 likes now. Very cool. I can't like it. I don't have a like button here. Awesome. All right. So let's do this. I'm going to go to the classroom. And this is just a little MIDI song. This is the song that was playing at the intro. All right, I'm going to open up the other video so you guys can see what I'm dealing with here. All right, let's see if I can do this here. What is scene 3? Oh, yeah, I'm not ready for that yet. I wasn't sure. I have a full camera set up. I wanted to show you guys my console. Let's see. There we go. No, that's okay. Well, that's kind of it. All right, so you guys can see I've got my my fader port 16 right here. I've got my old Atom over here. And I've got the Atom SQ over here. I have to admit, I don't use the Atom SQ as much as I do the old Atom. So it is quite nice to be able to do that. All right, so let's go back to the classroom. So I'm going to close this song. And I am still working with my Mac Mini. It's only got 8 gig of RAM. It's an M1. So on that little beast over there, I am actually running OBS. I'm running the live stream, and I'm running Studio One, and I'm running Universal Control. I don't know how that's working either. But there you go. Let's see, Old School Funk, he says, a lot of remixes. Let's see, I do a lot of remixes and was using workarounds to get stems. So the stem separator is the best update for me. Yeah, it's my favorite. I don't know if it's the best one for me, but it is definitely my favorite. Yeah, and David says, hit the nail on the head. Perfect. Excellent. Thank you. All right, Johnny Lipsham says, I think what you are referring to with splice is the space where you drag and drop sounds in. Yes, that's it. He says, which is a sensitive AI search. Oh, I see. For sounds that match. Okay, that's what that's for. Well, like I said, I haven't really dug deep into it. So what Johnny is saying, just really quick before we move on here. So the little thing, if you open up Splice, once you actually install it from your account, if you open up Splice, there's a little box where you can drag things in. So you can actually drag in one of your loops, and it will search for something similar in its library. Now that, oh, excuse me, now that is cool. Let's see. Sheila says, love the old Atom, love the bigger pads. Yes, exactly. Billy Morgan is talking to Johnny Lipsham and me. He says, tag team, learn the clip launcher. Yes. Yeah, maybe we can do a joint live stream on that, Johnny. And you can help me learn it. All right, so let's get back to the classroom. So what I wanted to show you, as far as the launcher goes, one of the things that I have learned is if I open up the launcher, whoops, that's not the launcher. That's the launcher. If I go to my loops, and let's see what I've got here. I've got bases, audio files. There we go. These aren't really bases to me. Let's see if I can find a good bass line. It's all hip-hop stuff. I want to... Oh, there we go. So I can drag this loop here. And if I right-click, I can choose the play mode loop. So now, if I just hit play... Whoops, I got to do this. I got to hit the play button. So now, anytime that I hit play, I don't have to drag it across my screen. I can just leave it there. And then I can go to an instrument. See, this is what I'm going to use it for. I can go to an instrument. I can bring in my drums. There we go. And I can... There we go. Give it a little more volume so you guys can hear. All right, so now, what this gives me just by using this, and this is probably the simplest way to do it. All right, so just doing this, if I actually activate, I'm going to turn on the click track, and I'm going to hit play. See, and I don't have to drag that across, and I can change it at any time. So let's go ahead and record a little piece. 2, 3, 4. go. Now, I don't know why. I don't know why that didn't. I thought it was recording. Did I not? Oh, that's interesting. How come it's not recording the drums? Yeah, Johnny says you can drag your entire song in and it'll, and then Splice will find a matching sound. That's cool. All right, so I've got my first little problem. So when I hit record, it's actually recording the bass loop, but it's not recording my drums. What am I missing? You need to click on the arrow on that track in the launcher. Do I need to go back here? All right. Okay, but then it doesn't play that. But if I go back, oh, I think I see what's happening. I had the launcher activated. But it's not going to let me, it's only going to record that loop. So if I hit record, all right, so it recorded. See, this is the hard part for me with the launcher. See, I want it to record the drums while playing the loop. And it's not. So what am I missing? Ah, yes, my favorite part of the show. I always learn the most when you're searching like this. Okay, well, thank you for that. All right, so the impact track. Do what with the impact track? Johnny says, no, the arrow on the track. The arrow. Oh, really? All right, so is it still going to play the loop? Oh, I think I know. Okay, let's see. 1, 2. There it goes. 2. 2. All right, so now this is actually quite cool. All right, so it's. Oh man, I'm actually really excited that I figured this out. No, that Johnny helped me figure this out. Let's see what this sounds like. All right, so what I just learned is that these two sections can work together. But the difference is you have to select from here what plays in the launcher and what plays in the arrange view. Now, I would never have figured that out. Yeah, see, so now it's not going to play. So this little arrow corresponds to what this track is able to do, depending on the direction it's pointing. If I have this pointing here, it'll play a loop that I put here. If it's actually pointing here, it'll play whatever I have on the track itself. All right, so that's actually good to know. That's really, really good to know. Let me actually shrink this down here. So let's see. Let me go back to the chat just for a second. Yeah, BTN Studio is my favorite part of this. Let's see. The arrow in front of the loop has to point left. Thank you, Christina. That is correct. You can record into a cell in the same way that you drag the loop in. Okay, I didn't know that. Let's see. Yeah, Billy says, make a tutorial. Johnny says also, see the record button in the cell. I don't see. Is this a record button? Oh! I did not know that was a record button. All right, so so watch this. I am like super excited right now. I'm gonna go back to this. I'm gonna delete this. And I'm going to take these and I'm going to delete these. So, according to Johnny, if I actually hit the record button here, all right, that was terrible. Excuse me, I hit all the wrong buttons. All right, here we go. 1, 2, dun, dun, dun. Well, did I not hit? It's all right. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. I thought it would have recorded. There we go. Oh, I have to hit the play button. All right, try it again. That is not what I played. So let's do this, and we're going to delete. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to try it again. So let's see how that plays back. Oh. Interesting, but I noticed that it didn't really work well with the input quantize, which is interesting. All right, let me go to the chat. See the record button. Sheila says, interesting. Johnny says, bingo. Let's see, then he says no. And now MJ is laughing at me. Rightfully so. MJ says, I've missed this. Will it work with the count-in? Oh, that's a good question. And Johnny says, it will work if you use the pre-count and the metronome. Okay, so that's good. I'm going to take this. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go back here. So if I go, now for those of you that don't know, there is a pre-count option. Let me see if I can zoom in here. I think it's this. There we go. So if you look down at the bottom, you can find, let's see, record mode. That's the pre-roll. Pre-count. So I don't know what the pre-count is set to. Let's see, what is the pre-count set to? Click and play, click and pre-count only. No, I'm gonna have the pre-count. Oh, 1 bar. Okay, good. Good. All right. So let's see how this works. Ready? I know I have this. I have both arrows pointing this way. I want to record in this box. As soon as I hit the record button, hopefully it gives me a pre-count. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. So let's see if that worked. Oh. Now see, why does it do that? right, so I've got to stop it. See, I don't think I can... Oh, okay. I can do this. Oh, okay, so I should be able to take this down to here. And now the hope is that it will loop. It will loop there. Let's see. No, because see, this is still showing the space. I was hoping it would actually take the size of this down. So how do can I edit this? Oh, wait a second. I just realized. Ha. Oh, that is so cool. All right, do you see what I did here? I wanted to loop just this area here. So I can actually double click on the loop that I recorded in there. And oh man. All the light bulbs in my head have just gone off. All right, so if I did this right, I can now that's just a loop. I just made that loop. I'm going to get rid of that crash. I'm going to add the hi-hat in there. There we go. Kaboom! All right, so what have we learned? This is awesome. This is really awesome. All right, so one of the things that we've learned is that after I had the mixer open, what I didn't realize that I could actually edit whatever I put in the launcher. So you saw that I didn't want these last notes to play because I wanted it to loop for the 2 bars or for the 2 measures. So whatever you record into each of the modules, if you choose to work that way, you can completely edit everything within the module simply. See, it actually updates. And this loop zone is different, completely different to the loop zone in the arrange view. That is cool. George Mateo says, ha, I like learning again. Yeah, okay, yeah. And then he says I can quantize now. Yeah, that makes so much sense. But I have to say, the manual doesn't explain it like that. So this is cool. This is extremely cool. What do you guys think? Did we learn something? Oh man! Oh my God! Is it really 6:45 already? Oh man! So that is fantastic, Johnny Lipsham. Got to hand it to Johnny. Johnny is the expert here. I'm just here to learn just as much as the rest of you guys are. All right. So, also it's a good thing to remember, turn off the pre-count if you don't need it. Otherwise, every time you go to record something, it's going to do the pre-count, which is still cool. But, yeah. So let's see what we got again. It's a terrible fill, by the way. But that's okay. So I can go ahead and I can open up the browser. And I remember, I got this loop from my loop library. Not from Splice, but from my loop library. And I can actually go with PreSonus. And maybe I'll do like a keyboard part. So if I go to bass, let's go to artist instruments. I'm going to go with keyboards. Let's go with the grand piano. That's a terrible grand piano, by the way. So if I'm going to go with the piano, we'll go with the Rhodes. see. Full ballad. Love the Rhodes keyboards. All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to go with that. So let me see about some chords. Now, see, I haven't actually recorded anything in the song yet. Sorry, I'm trying to look for my pedal. I'm not getting a tune here in my head. It sounds out of tune. I wonder if that bass is not in tune. That's what I want to play. You know what? I don't know what key that bass is in. It's playing something odd. I was going to add a keyboard, but all right. The metronome is off, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Now the metronome's off. I don't know if it's the headphones, but I think that bass is a little out of tune. You know what? I'm not hearing it in my head. It sounds like that bass is kind of like in the middle. I don't know if I can change the tuning on that a little bit. No, it doesn't look like it. Oh. Oh, maybe I can. My brain isn't processing whatever note that bass is in. Let's see. BTN says it's A. A. Read the chat. Yeah, I'm getting there. Turn the metronome off. It's in A. Well, that's what I thought, but for some reason. See, I was trying to. Let me see. But see, that doesn't sound right to me. It's A flat? See, that's what let's see. Oh. Yeah. Okay, that works for me now. Anybody out of it Anybody who isn't familiar with how I work probably thinks I'm the worst musician ever. A flat. Okay. And actually, the chat just refreshed, so it wasn't refreshing. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So, we'll turn on the pre-record. We got that in there. I've got this going. Ready? 2, 4. All right. So let's see. Okay. I'm going to quantize. Oh, this is nice. So I've got this. See that flashing? Okay, so I like that first one. So I'm actually just going to squirrel this down to here. And get rid of all of this MIDI data. Remove that. So I just want it at the 3. I didn't put this over here. All right. You know what? I just like this part. So watch this. Oh, it didn't let me do it. All right, so sorry about the issue there in the chat. The thing didn't refresh. I only saw one person that typed A B and didn't realize he meant A flat. Johnny Lipsham says to play your scene, the cells you have created. Click on the play icon next to the word scene at the top of the launcher. Oh, I see. All right, so let me actually do this. Let me go back. And I am going to get this in here. There we go. So the play button here. That's good. Billy Morgan says you haven't lost a step. Actually, I lost about 1.5 feet worth of walking right there. Jeez. All right. So that's just really dabbling with actually recording directly into the launcher. Things that that I still have to figure out are going to be. Let me go back to here. Things that I still have to figure out are going to be being able to move songs into the launcher and have it cut them up. I've seen that done, and I've also seen to where you have to drag it a certain way to get them in there. And if you guys are up for an experiment like that, this one was painful. I can't wait to see all the down votes. for playing with that so long. But I do appreciate your guys' patience. All right, PTN says he's got to go. Cheers for anyone, for grins. Try an F minor, pentatonic scale. Oh, I don't even know what that is. Let's see. Johnny Lipsham always says you have to think about the launcher as its own entity in Studio One. It's non-linear, sort of. Yeah, I get that now. All right, so that was... I hope that was partially useful, maybe even a little bit. But this was just the first show. I'm gonna have stuff set up for the shows to have more straight up examples. And 30 people hung around, so I do appreciate that, watching me be the worst musician on the planet. So I appreciate everybody kind of sticking around. All right, so I will have in the next live stream, I will have a definite example, and then we'll test some things that we don't know about again, like we did here. Hopefully it goes a little smoother, but the launcher is tough. I think anybody will agree with me. The launcher is tough. So I do hope that you guys got something out of all this. I want to thank you guys for coming in and checking out the first show. Wasn't nearly as smooth as I'd hoped, but it was a lot of fun. Don Oliver says it was fun. Mark Farmer says F minor. Yeah. See, Mark, you need to talk to Johnny about stuff like that, because I don't know. I don't know scales. I don't know anything about music theory. I literally play chords and close my eyes. That's how I write music. So there we go. We got 29 people in here. I don't know the total on the likes. If you guys, somebody want to take a look at the likes and post them in the chat. George Mateo says, good to see you back. Thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. And let's see how many likes do we have on this crazy thing here. We got 29 people left, and it is time for me to go. And Rock Tease, he says, great work, mate. I'll be back. Well, I hope so, and I hope to get these things a little bit smoother. This is really the first official live stream in many years. So let's see. Mark Farmer, A flat Lydian dominant. Wow. You guys are speaking French. 32 likes. Excellent. All right, I do appreciate it, guys, and I will see you all in the next live stream. So there'll be a schedule up for the live streams, hopefully soon, a longer schedule. The idea is to have one another Friday. So I'll see you guys next Friday. Take care.